Hi, and welcome to Micro Action Sheet 1.6.5, and this one is called Content Recording Workflow. So you're starting off with the first important step, which is to watch this video first, which we're doing already. And the purpose of this micro action sheet is to guide you through recording your membership content efficiently, focusing on progress over perfection. That is really important. And this step might feel like it takes a little bit of time. It's the first time perhaps that it feels maybe like the momentum has started to slow down because we've actually now got to create some slides and some presentations and some recordings. And so when we're doing this, it's really important that we break it up into manageable chunks. And in this one, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, how to edit it, and how to make sure you keep moving forward. So let's dive into it. Okay, so we'll head to step one on the next page, which is to set up Loom. If you haven't already, we went through it in the previous action sheet, but you can download the desktop version of Loom, which is the one I recommend, by heading to lewissmith.co/Loom, Loom. I've even put a link for that below here inside the micro action sheet for you. And whilst Loom is downloading and you're getting ready to record your first module, your phase one, module one, or even your start here module, if you haven't already, the tips that I would give you are to keep your recording setup simple by having a clean, quiet space that you can record in. Have a glass of water nearby. And the last thing you want is to get a dry throat halfway through recording a really good module and then have to run away and get a glass of water. So just have something to drink nearby to keep you going. You can always stop, remember, and I'll show you an example of how I do that when I make mistakes, which I do all the time. And then you want your slides on the screen and have them ready to present. And then a little tip, which you don't have to have this, but I think it quite helps if you're not used to presenting to camera, is to just have a photo of your ideal member there to help you present naturally as if you're talking to one person. So you might think, well, I don't know who my dream member is. Doesn't matter. Just go onto Google, search images, type in a few things as to what might describe your perfect member. Find an image of someone that's friendly and looks like they could be your perfect ideal avatar member. Use your imagination, use AI if you want to, but I think it helps to have a photo of a real person, or maybe it is a friend or a family member, someone that you're creating this for and you think, I could help this person become better off, and have it on screen or have it printed. No one has to see it other than you, but the trick is that when you have them there, it's almost like you're talking to that person. And I will explain why that's beneficial as we go through. So I'm going to demonstrate now recording with Loom. So we have our Loom open. In fact, let me share my other screen. Okay, so I have my presentation open now. This is the module that you've probably just been through before getting onto this micro action sheet. And what I'm going to do then is select. So I've got Loom open here. You can see I've got it set to video mode, record. You can have record or screenshot. And I'm going to select, I don't want it to be camera only. I want it to be full screen or a specific window. So you want to select the thing that you want to share. So you could select specific window or full screen. And so for this, I'll select full screen. And then you would have your camera selected as well. So you'd select the camera and you'd see a little bubble of your face like the one that you can see of me down here. I'm recording on a separate platform at the moment, so it's difficult for me to demonstrate this, but let me just show you. So what I would do is hit start recording, and then it will give me a countdown sequence. So I'm actually going to change this to a different microphone so that it doesn't conflict with what I'm recording for you at the moment. And then you'll see it gives me a countdown. So it gives me a 3, 2, 1. Don't panic when it gets to 1. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect from the moment. Look, I'm talking to you right now whilst it's recording. And I'm going to say, okay, so cut out all of this stuff, clear my throat, get a glass of water. And then I'll just have a go and say, all right, I'm going to try and record module 1.6 here. If I get it wrong, we'll just cut out the mistakes. So I'm looking straight to the camera. And I've got the slides here. I might go to slideshow, which you can click to make it go full screen. I have my mouse off to the side, and then I just use the buttons on my keyboard, the right arrow to go to the next slide and left arrow to go back a slide if I need to. So I'll say, hello and welcome to module 1.6. This one is about building your first membership content. So let's get into it. So here's what we'll cover inside this module. Now I'm going to pretend that I messed up the line. So membership, content, planning, designing your, I messed up. Okay, right. Scrap that. I'm going to do that bit again. Right, so notice I'm just talking to myself because later on I'm going to be editing this. So I just press back or the left arrow. And then I say, so here's what we'll cover in today's module. Membership content planning, designing your complete content roadmap. So I'm going to show you how to plan out all of your content so that you know exactly what to do, what to record, so you can get started. Then we'll go through school community setup, creating an engaging member experience for your members. All right, so that's now done. Say I'm happy with that. I got to the end of the slides and I said I was happy. I'd click on finish recording. So now that I can see the video inside Loom, see where it says transcript here, you can see everything that I said. And actually, I didn't start presenting until the point where I said, hello and welcome to module 1.6. So all of this stuff from here earlier is not relevant. We want to get rid of that. So it says you can now edit your video using the transcript. So I'm going to click try it out on here. And then I'll click view transcript. And what I think I can do is just highlight right through to where I want it to start. So it should start there. Do you see, as I highlight the words, it also highlights this, which is the sound waveform. This is the visual of kind of the sound that I've recorded. And I think if I just click delete, that then cuts it out. So now if I click on play on this video, see, it just starts right at the beginning of where I want. Now, if I say actually at the very beginning, you can still see a slight bit of the other screen. So I'm just going to correct that slightly so that it starts right from where I say the word hello. So that's really, really good. And as we go through, remember we made another mistake as well. So I said, here's what we'll cover. And then I said, now I'm going to pretend I messed up a line. So I'm going to get rid of all of that. Press the back arrow and then go back to, so here's what we'll cover. Now, if I get rid of all of that, that should now, if I click here to go back in the timeline to the beginning, let's watch this through and see if it works and looks fairly seamless. So I'll click play. Okay, so I got it wrong. I messed up this bit. So it needs to jump straight to, so here's what we'll cover. So let me get rid of these words here. So I click on those and delete, and let's try it again. Seamless, right? This is just as easy as it gets. You can simply go through and just remove the words. It even has an auto option there to say, trim out words like and ahs and hms, like the filler words, and it can do that automatically using AI. I'd probably do it yourself to start with, just to make sure you're happy with the final version. And then once you've done, all you do is click finish. The amazing thing about Loom is it makes it so easy, and it just gives you the ability to click this copy link, and you can then just paste that straight into your school community, and then that becomes a module. You don't need to do anything else other than that. Now, of course, you can edit things if you want to. You can change some of the settings, go through, have a look at this. You can remove silences, remove filler words, enhance the video, and do other things that you want to that's slightly more clever. But really, that is all you need to get a minimum viable product of a membership course built and ready to go. So we'll head back over to the micro action sheet now and see what's next. So that was me demonstrating the recording setup with Loom. Step 2 is for you to try recording, if you haven't already, a start here video. So this would be just keeping it casual, authentic. You can welcome new members, explain to them how to navigate the community, share what they'll learn, aim for 2 to 3 minutes and record it as if talking to one person. So I've said, don't script it, just be yourself and speak naturally. This point here is important. Record it as if you're talking to one person. I see a lot of people fall into the trap of thinking that they're presenting to lots of people, which you may be, but it depersonalizes it and it makes it feel less personal. So let me just demonstrate that. Now imagine I've got the membership open and I'm doing my start here video. So I've got my Loom panel and I click record and I look at the camera and I say, hi everyone and welcome to the membership. I'm so delighted to have you all here. So I want to guide you through what you'll all be doing in this membership and talk you through all of the steps you'll need to take. Right, that's okay, but I'm kind of addressing this room and it just makes you feel like you're one member of a big audience and that you can kind of sit back in your chair and you're not really, but you know, when you're in a room and you're being addressed by one person, you can kind of just blend into the background. You don't really, it's not like a one-on-one conversation. Compare that to this, where I say, hello and welcome to the membership. I'm so delighted to have you here. I'm really excited about the journey you're going to be taking and how you'll be able to impact your members' lives. Now, I want to show you around the community. So inside the community, you can see here that we've got the ability to make posts and share updates with your fellow community members. You can select your category. Then you have the classroom, which is where our course is and where all of the module video content is. Inside the calendar, you can join us for a coffee hour or a Q&A call. It's a fantastic community. You're going to love it, and I can't wait to see you around, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. So it's very personal. I talked directly to you, not to, hey, everybody, thanks all so much. You know, I'm not addressing a big room. I'm talking individually to you. That's the beauty of the camera, this personalized video content. It can be direct and really hit home with your ideal member. And in that video, just cover those things, 2 to 3 minutes, show them around, keep it casual. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. It humanizes the content and it actually draws people towards you a little bit more, believe it or not, because they think, oh, well, you are human. Okay, you don't just do everything flawlessly. So you'll have seen I've made many mistakes throughout this, and we've left some of them in intentionally because you don't need to be perfect. So go ahead, record your start here video. If you want to pause the video now and do that, you can. Otherwise, you can do it after completing this micro action sheet. And then step 3, record your first module. So open up your slides, start Loom with the camera and slides being shared. So you want your camera sharing in the little bubble and like the circle, and then your slide sharing full screen. And then introduce the module, present each slide naturally, conversationally, and end with clear next steps, just like you've seen me do in all of the modules so far. Remember, if you make a mistake, just pause. Doesn't matter, because you're going to be editing it out later anyway. Just say, I'm going to try that again. Or actually, a good tip you can do is if you clap loudly, so say I made a mistake, I'd clap, that then will show a spike on the audio waveform that you saw on the bottom of the Loom video that will indicate to me, oh, okay, that point is an error. I need to draw my attention to that bit. So it's quite a good habit to get into. You sound a bit crazy just clapping every time you make a mistake, but it's helpful when you're editing. And then just continue from the last good point. So wherever you got to, you saw me demonstrate this just now, wherever you last got to that was okay, just go from there. You don't have to start the whole thing over again and then edit out mistakes later using the Loom transcript editor like we did. So there we go. We did that already. So I think we can move on to the next step, because that will be your action item after completing this micro action sheet, is just to record your very first module, the start here module, and then module 1. Module 1.1 if you want to use the same naming convention that I have. And then step 4, some quick editing, basic cleanup in Loom is all that's really required. Don't overthink this. It doesn't need to be perfect. We just trim the start and the end if needed. Like I showed you, remove any major mistakes. So if you completely mess up a slide, just do a clap and say, I'm going to go again on that slide from the top of that slide. And then you add the module to your school community and save a backup copy to the Google Drive. The last thing you want to do is spend a while creating these modules, recording them, thinking that was a really good take, and then accidentally deleting the file, right? We don't want that to happen. So let me show you how you do that. Imagine this is the module that I have done. I've clicked on the edit tool. I've enhanced it. I followed the steps that I just showed you earlier in the video. What I can now do is click copy link, and I will head over to my membership inside school, click on classroom, open up the course that we are editing, and say this was module 1, phase 1. Click the pencil icon, or you can click edit as well. And in here, we want to add a video. So it's here. And then it just says paste in the link. So I'm just going to do that. That then adds the module as a link using the Loom video player into our community, and click on save. And that's now how it would look. This is literally how it would look for a member of ours that's going through it. So you can see the video is just there. I click play and it starts playing. So that's exactly what we need to do. The one thing I noticed there is the Loom recording controls are showing. That's simply a setting in Loom. If you just go to setting, you can click hide recording controls, and it then won't show them in the final slide that you've created. But yeah, that's the simplest way that I can advise you to create your slides. Remember, you can use the other stuff. You can use CapCut. You can use Riverside FM that I shared. We've linked those in the previous micro action sheet if you do want to take your editing to the next level. But really, for now, there's no need. The other thing I wanted to share here was saving a backup copy to Google Drive. It's always helpful to have another copy of your modules in the cloud, ideally not on a personal computer if you can avoid it, because if your computer gets lost or stolen and it's not backed up, then you're going to be very frustrated. So what you can then do is, if you head over to your video on Loom, click the three dots in the top right corner there. Might be in a slightly different place depending on the version of Loom that you're seeing, and click on download video. So you can see now it's added that video to my downloads. And then in Google Drive, simply head to drive.google.com. You can right click and make a new folder like I've done here. And then within that folder, I might call this phase 1. And then I'll open that one and create another folder within there called module 1. Okay, so that's now phase 1, module 1. So within there. And now if I go to my downloads, I can simply drag that download into phase 1, module 1. And now the file itself as a video file is uploaded to Google Drive. So I now have this stored on Loom as a video here using the Loom player that you can embed directly into School. But I also now have a backup of it on Google Drive as a video file to ensure that if anything ever happened to my Loom account or anything like that, I have another version of it. You might also want to be extra secure and put it on a offline hard drive, physical hard drive, and lock it away in a safe or something. But I think having 2 copies of it in 2 separate places in the cloud is a good idea. And that way you are preventing any problems down the line. So that's how you make backups of your modules. Now, step 5, daily recording routine. So let me give you some advice and tips and guidance that I think you might find helpful. Set specific recording times. Try and be consistent each day as to when you're planning to record these modules. By the way, it's not all going to happen in one day. You might be like me and hope that you could cram everything into one day's recording session, but the quality of the content that you'll get as your energy drops will deteriorate. So it's just not worth it. I always think, would I want to lock in time a low energy, poor performing, tired version of myself on camera? Because effectively, when you're recording a video, you're locking that version of yourself in a digital time capsule, aren't you? So I always think, is it worth it? Or would you rather just wait until the next day when you're feeling good again, have your morning coffee and then start? So that's why I record at the same time every day. Use your daily success tracker to keep yourself accountable for this, and also just to plan so that you know exactly what you're doing, breaking it down. I like to aim for 1 module per day. And the way I like to do it is, as I've explained to you through the micro action sheets so far, I like to plan the modules first, get the slides, get the action tasks all laid out so that I'm happy with them. And then once I'm happy with, say, all of one of the modules within phase 1, I might then decide to record it. So once I've done all of the slides and I'm happy with how it works, and then celebrate each completion. So once you've recorded a module, it's really good to mark that occasion. For me, it might be taking my family out for a nice dinner, or it might just be going to the gym in the afternoon and relaxing and unwinding and making sure that I reward myself in some way, mentally or physically, for what I've done that day, because it's really important, and it bakes in that sense of momentum and progress for you. And then build steady momentum. Just keep doing it. Keep chipping away. Don't try and take too much on. We're not getting overwhelmed here. A little bit every day. So a really good sample schedule, if you're a morning person, this is, and by the way, you could do the same thing as an evening person, but I tend to find that by the evening, my energy for recording is a bit depleted. So I don't really want to capture that version of myself on camera where I'm kind of at the end of my day and I'm like pretty drained of energy. I like to do it first thing in the morning where I'm fresh, haven't got decision fatigue yet because I haven't made lots of decisions, and I'm ready to go. So imagine you were working a 9 to 5 job, right? So you had to do it before 9 a.m. In fact, before 8 a.m. because you've got an hour's commute, right? Bit of a stretch of a scenario there, but let's just imagine those are your exact circumstances. So what you could do is get up at 5:30, shower, get yourself ready, get a coffee, and head down to review your slides. Open up the laptop, go through for half an hour the slides that you've already created previously, and then just make sure you're ready and that you have them front of mind. Set up your background, make sure your camera's working, test your microphone, and then between 6:30 and 7:30, record your modules. It won't take you an hour to record in all likelihood. My modules are usually about half an hour. in total recording length, but then once edited, they'll maybe be 25 minutes max. We don't do really, really long modules. And then between 7:30 and 8, you can just do a quick edit of it in Loom, watch it back, remove all of the filler words and any mistakes from the transcript, and then get that link into your school community like I showed you, so that by the end of it, you'll feel so happy with the progress you've made. You'll have a membership course coming together inside your community, and you're really going to start to feel that momentum and see it. But this is important. You've got to build on these compounded daily actions at the moment, because otherwise this part feels like there's too much to do, but there's not. Remember, we're going to break it up into micro actions, no overwhelm. We tick off tasks every day. And just to show you what I mean by use your daily success tracker, that was 1.3.2 for anyone that doesn't remember. You open that up and head to the last two sheets here, which you should hopefully be working through every day as you're going through reading your daily affirmations, looking at your vision board. But imagine it was the end of the day right now, and I did exercise today. I did my story 2 in the morning, did my story 2 in the evening. And today you could say, filmed module 1.1. So then tomorrow I will, you could say filmed or record module 1.2. And that's it. Simple as that. Your job for the next day, as far as this membership is concerned, is just one thing, one action, and it's to record that one module. Now, if you have micro actions as well, like I do, you can even break that down. So you could just say, tomorrow, my one action that I want to do is to record 1.2.1 or 1.2.2, whatever you're working on. I like the number organization kind of hierarchy system so that I can remember where I'm at. But that's how I do it. And then each day you just have one thing to do. It's not a huge mountain. It's just chip away at that one task and you will eventually get there. So that's it. Step 6. Next steps: record your start here video. Don't overthink it. You don't need to script it. You just need to show people around your community and offer a friendly, welcoming message. Remember, talk to one person. If it helps, print out a version of that person so that you can look at someone that you are talking to, and add that to your school community. So add your start here post to add the video to your start here post, like you'll see the version that we have pinned to the top of our community. And then set tomorrow's recording goal. So what are you going to do tomorrow? Once you've prepared your slides and you're ready to begin recording, set your intention, put it onto your daily success tracker so that it's there and it's planned out and you can hold yourself accountable. And then repeat this each day until phase 1 is complete. You don't have to build beyond phase 1 at this stage. That's going to become our goodwill gift. That's the thing, the free course that we'll give to our members in our free community. And remember, the idea of it is to help them with a transformation that gets them ready to want to join our paid community. But we'll tackle that part at a later date. Remember, one module at a time builds a complete membership. Focus on progress, not perfection. Each video you complete brings you closer to achieving your goal. So this is really the part where you can have fun, express yourself, start to deliver your membership content. And just remember, the person behind the lens, the person who's watching the module that you're creating, is the person whose life you are impacting. So take your time, let's keep moving, build up that momentum, and let's make it happen.